I got really lucky with this find. I managed to find a water damaged $50 switch on OfferUp, and it is in rough condition. I'm going to try to attempt to fix it and hopefully restore it a bit. So here's a switch that I got, and as you can tell, it's definitely seen better days. The previous owner told me he spilled Dr. Pepper all over it, and while it does turn on, it turns off after a while and can only continue to be played if it's docked. The backplate is in really rough shape. There's screws missing, I think in an attempt to try to fix it. And what is that under the screen? I really hope that's the soda he's talking about. On top of that, it seems like the left Joy-Con rail is busted because it's not detecting any controllers. I tried brushing it with some alcohol, but still nothing, so it looks like we're going to have to replace that. Fortunately, that's an easy fix. Also, the screen is in horrible condition since he tells me he never put on a screen protector. I'm going to have to replace that too, but first, we should probably try and figure out if this thing is even worth saving. So, I bought a bunch of parts, and I'm going to try and restore this poor thing. Let's get started. Okay, this thing is really gross on the inside. No doubt we're gonna have to clean this thing up. So this is where the SD card reader lives. If you ever suspect yours might be failing, this is how easy it is to replace. Alright, and now we're inside. First thing I'm looking for is any sign of corrosion or water damage. The water sticker indicator is still red, so that's a good sign. Though I am seeing some sticky residue on the battery connector. That might be the cause of the shutoffs. Alright, let's see if we can fix that rail issue. So, the cable for this piece runs other than motherboard and plugs in through here. Alright, so we're going to try and replace this. This rail costed me about $8 online. I'm going to line it up before we screw anything in, and just check to see if that's the issue, since we're going to have to take out the motherboard anyways. Oh wow, it seems like that fixed it. Awesome. What a great start. I'm super happy that that was such an easy fix. Next has to be the screen. It's really gross, and the guy told me he never used a screen protector. So I bought a brand new digitizer that cost me about $5. I'm going to keep this sealed until it's time to replace it. As for the backplate, it's still in a really bad shape. I could just replace it with the set menu backplate from the Animal Crossing Switch I made earlier, but I'm not basic. Which is why I bought this special edition Mario Red complete housing, both front and back. I cannot wait to get this installed. This one was $25. But first, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Harry's. Now, I remember when I first started shaving as a teenager, the thing that always stuck with me is, why are razors so dang expensive? Turns out, they don't have to be. Harry's is a personal care brand that offers a really nice, comfortable shave at a super fair price, with razors as low as just $2 a refill. They have their own factory in Germany, so they can assure you get nothing but the best quality products and at the best price. They also support great causes too, as they give 1% of their global sales to nonprofits to help men, veterans, and LGBT communities. Right now, you can get their trial kit that includes a nice 5-blade razor, a nice weighted handle, a travel cover, and their foaming shave gel. I really love how this stuff smells, and I think you will too. It smells very mature and adulty. Get all this stuff for just $3 when you use my link in the description, harrys.com/dammit.jeff. I really think you're going to love it. Once again, that's harrys.com/dammit.jeff, and thanks again to Harry's for sponsoring this video. Alright, now to replace the front piece is going to involve literally taking apart the entire switch, so just stick with me here. Now that the battery's unplugged, we can start unscrewing the heatsink. Then we gotta separate the foam from this fan, since it's stuck on with some sort of adhesive. It might rip a little, but that's okay. Don't worry about the thermal paste, we're gonna be replacing that later. Alright, next is the game card reader, which surprisingly shared the connection with the digitizer. That's basically the touchscreen portion of the screen. And this is where you put in your games. It's kind of neat, right? This is my special edition strawberry lemonade flavored Super Mario 3D All-Stars game cartridge. Let me know what your favorite flavor is in the comments. Next, we just unplug this big ribbon cable. This is the data cable for the LCD itself. And at this point, I hit my first big issue. While trying to remove the side rails, it finally happened. A screw stripped on me. Now, usually I would suggest to either use the rubber band or the super glue method, but these had no effect on this, unfortunately. So, I had to bring out alternative methods. We'll get back to that later. Let's just unplug the rest of the stuff, like the CPU fan, the antennas, and the speakers. With everything unplugged, we can finally take out the motherboard. Awesome. Alright, now we can start taking apart the screen. But before they do that, now's a good time where I ask you to follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of stuff on there that doesn't get posted here, and I really think you'll like it. Link is going to be in the description. Alright, so now the Switch is nothing but a hollowed out empty version of what it once used to be. I can relate to that. Now it's time to take apart the LCD. I'm going to use heat for this, as literally the only thing that holds in the screen is just some double-sided tape. If you want to know what toolkit I'm using for this, I'll link it in the description. Best $60 I've ever spent. I'm taking my time here as the LCD is adhered to the digitizer. One small slip of the hand and the thing can break. And it's off. We'll just set that aside for now. Right now, it's time to focus on the plastic piece underneath. This is what we're going to be replacing with the new red housing. Gotta watch out for the power and the volume buttons, and it's out. As for the rail, I was able to snap it off entirely. Don't worry, we were replacing this part anyways. I'm gonna grab the buttons from the old housing and transfer it over to the new one. Now, yes, I'm aware that they're not the same color as the Mario Red one, but I couldn't find anyone that was selling them, and honestly, I just took apart an entire Switch, bro. Leave me alone. Alright, the red front plate is installed. Now, onto the digitizer. We could just reinstall this, but the plastic is really gross, so I really want to be able to replace this. The adhesive from the old digitizer needs to be transferred over to the new housing. I used some of my own because some of it tore, but that's no big deal. Now, I was trying to find an opening to where I can start separating it apart, but something happened in the process. I think I just broke it. I really hope that's not the case. Well, eventually I managed to get the digitizer off. And I'm going to start aligning up the LCD display in place at this point. Alright, before we seal it up forever, I want to test that the LCD still works. So I'm just going to plug in the battery, the power buttons, and the display, and just see what happens. I swear, one day my luck is just going to run out. And it seems that day is today. That's unfortunate. Okay, it's the next day, and I usually don't do this, but I decided to overnight a new LCD from Amazon and have it shipped as fast as possible. Hopefully, we can restore this Switch. So, I quickly started disassembling everything again. Removed the old panel, and started to install the new one. Out with the old, and in with the new. I plugged in everything that needed to be plugged in, and nothing. Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't say nothing. The backlight would turn on, but no picture would actually show up. I double, triple, quadruple checked my connections, and it just wouldn't want to turn on. I even completely reassembled the entire Switch, and still nothing. Funny enough, the digitizer did work, and I was able to hear the Switch interacting just fine. The backlight, as you can see, was still on, so the Switch wasn't dead, it just had no picture. Honestly, this is kind of why I don't like ordering parts from Amazon. You can never trust if the part is either busted or defective. So, where does this leave us? Well, I know this is not the ending that you all wanted, but considering this video is already really long, and I need to order some new parts, I think I'm gonna have to do a part 2. I'm pretty sure the screen is faulty, but if I missed something, by all means, please let me know in the comments. Don't worry though, I'm still working on this on the side, I just didn't want to leave you guys without a video this week. Be sure to subscribe to stick around for part 2, and in the meantime, here are some other cool videos you can check out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.